there's a lot of nitty-gritty kind of problematic things that you don't learn about till you're a little older, you know? But that was a big... Oh. Did I break it? I'm Sen Morimoto. I'm a musician. I live in Chicago, but I grew up in Massachusetts, here in Japan for a tour, and yeah, I play the saxophone, I sing, I make beats, and that's me. Definitely Massachusetts. I grew up in a really small town, maybe like between 800 and 1,000 people live there. If you've seen like Lord of the Rings, it's like the Shire. It's in the middle of a state forest called the Wendell State Forest. More trees than people, really. That's definitely my like central home. But I moved to Chicago about 6 years ago, and the community is just so warm and welcoming, and it's a really cool place that I feel like I can identify with, and that's become a second home to me. Coming to Japan, I feel like I'm still developing a home here, which is, it's kind of funny because like I was born here and my family is a lot of my family's here, but I'm still kind of learning how to interact with that side of home. When I started playing music, it was just like strictly jazz pretty much. I started playing saxophone when I was a kid, and you know, my teachers when I began were open-minded about learning things that I was interested in learning, so like improvisation and kind of jazz music and experimental music were really exciting to me growing up. So in terms of like classical training or something, it's pretty weak, like my sight reading is pretty bad, or things that I wish now I had spent more time on as a kid, but I think that focus on like improvisation and jazz music really helped create the kind of sensibility that I have for music now. I was really into The Simpsons, so I really like the episodes where Lisa Simpson plays with Bleeding Gums. I wasn't really coming at it from a sense of like, oh, this is a cool instrument, or like these, or I want to be able to play these songs. I loved watching The Simpsons, and I was like, that's like a thing I could try. I guess that was initially it, and then it felt right, so. Yeah, I had a teacher for a while. He's a really amazing saxophonist. He played in the Neville Brothers, a group from New Orleans, and he ended up living in Massachusetts in the woods, kind of similarly, and he had like a little yurt that he would practice in, and he would teach master classes sometimes, and so I went to one with my friend Kai, who also played saxophone, and then he asked us, we were maybe like 12 or 13, if we wanted to study with him. So every weekend I would go to his house, and we'd hang out in his yurt, and he would just play like chord changes on a computer, and we would like take turns soloing over it, kind of listening to each other and learning new phrases, and just kind of talking about music history as well. Growing up, like you said, we had like dial-up. I couldn't really like stream anything. I had to go to the library. There was this one computer game called RuneScape that I really liked. I had to go to the library to play it, and then they'd be like, you've been on the computer, like you're wasting the bandwidth or something, you know. But so for music, yeah, I just had my dad's CDs, and I feel like I'm still finding CDs in his collection that are new to me. Like, there's just so many weird things, from like the Godzilla soundtrack to like Diana Ross to Led Zeppelin to, so it was really like, that's where I learned a lot about like older music. I think for top 5 records I found in there, definitely Zeppelin 2 was probably the first one that I really like freaked out about, listened to over and over again. Coltrane for Lovers is a compilation of Coltrane songs, but it's like a really pretty well put together compilation. So that one was really, every time I go back I still listen to that one. Burt Bacharach Gold was huge for me too. It just got a bunch of like amazing Carpenter songs and like Tom Jones and stuff, kind of like more yeah, poppy stuff. Cannonball Adderley was big, finding him, for at least for saxophone stuff. That was big. B-Day by Beyonce. That was big, finding that one. I know it's not really a lot of jazz records that I named, but that's kind of a good scope of the things that he collected. So it really was a formative pile of everything, you know. When I was a teenager and I first started rapping, I was very kind of angsty, and the first mixtape was called Internment, and it was all very like angry, aggressive. I think the idea was more for me to kind of flip the script on this kind of docile Japanese personality that is probably more kind of stereotypically thought of, you know? Into this kind of like I was this angry teenage rapper guy just trying to like freak people out. So it was a lot about reclaiming that word. It was a lot about, you know, the shock value of it, and then turning that into something in performance that you can kind of shift how people think about things. But I mean, then I got a little older, obviously. I was like, it's pretty intense. You know, yeah, I think now I would feel terrible kind of like offending anybody about that. But at the time, I was a